So, in addition to a senior recital that I'm preparing for, I have a ton of extra rep that I'm doing that I can't even remember. I am doing Beethoven violin. Don't laugh at me. I can't remember most of this stuff. I can't, literally, this is why I have a planner, because I can't remember even what I'm doing.
I wasn't sure if you continued filming or not when you said that. I wasn't sure if that was a part of it, or you genuinely, but it sounded like you genuinely.
I genuinely don't know. This is why I need a planner.
Oh my gosh. Put your headphones on.
Okay, take two. So, in addition to performing a senior recital within the next couple of weeks, which link in the description for any of those details, I can't even remember most of the rep that I have to practice for because I am that spazzy in my energy. And so I've had to come up with a way to figure out how to organize my practice and remember what I'm doing and have it all planned out so it's, very, well polished and ready to go when I need it. So I have created a 2-practice planner, and it has an About Me page, which is really cool. But yes, as you can tell, this is my month of April, and it's been pretty hectic thus far, and it's only going to get hectic for the next couple of weeks because my senior recital is coming up. And just to give you an idea of all the rep I have, let's see if I can do this in one breath. Beethoven Violin Sonata No. 7, Prokofiev 5 Melodies, Vaughan Williams Lark Ascending, Zweig Fantasy for solo violin, Cortellano Violin Sonata, Debussy String Quartet, I can't do it, Mirror Orchard, which you'll know pretty soon what that is, Bourdin Overture, Mascardi Concertino, Rimsky-Korsakov Suite of the Maiden, Chaminade Concertstück, Beethoven String Quartet, Opus 132, Sesong Rondo and Introduction, Rondo and Introduction and Rondo Capriccioso, that's what it is. Beethoven Overture to Prometheus, Mozart 35, and in addition, a movement of Bach, a movement of Concerto, and one orchestral excerpt. And I think I am missing something, actually, from this list. I just don't remember what. This is why I need a practice planner. So, anyway, I'm going to walk you through how I use my planner, where you can get it, what options are available, and all that fun jazz. So, of course, we have the geometric design, and this comes in a 12-month, a 6-month, and a 4-month option. So you can pick and choose which months you want, or if you want the full thing. You also have the option to have with or without practice notes, and sometimes I use these for my own personal doodling of what I did in my practice session, or lesson notes, or sometimes I write what I need to do for the rest of the day, or write down a random thought that has nothing to do with music because I just need to write it down so I don't forget. As you can tell, I have very short-term memory loss, so forgive me with all the spazzy energy. But anyway, so in your planner, and I'm going to be showing you the month of April and maybe some May, but April, this is the month of April, and Avi, it is quite already filled up. For me, personally, I purposely left out any dates or numbers for the planner, so you can use it in 2022, or I don't care, 2025. And it is multi-purpose for literally any year, or you can write them in. I personally use my iPad for this. And this is just in 4-score that I use it. But when you purchase the item, it comes in a downloadable PDF file. So you can also print it out. And this is like the full 211 12-month planner in a black and white. And this is also something I use. Pretty much has the same thing, maybe not so much up to date as the one on the iPad, but I still use it. Still. But it's a lot more fun in color, I must say. I mean, I only have a black and white printer at home, but, oh, and that's my favorite month, October. But yes, you can print it out, you can reuse it. If you're done with the 3 months, you can reuse it. But again, it is a lot more fun in color, and you can see a lot more of the designs in color. And of course, you're gonna see it if you get the full thing. So I just have like a calendar that you have, and then at the very bottom, I just have bullet points where you can list out the important dates, because I don't have just concert dates here. I have rehearsal dates, coaching dates, dress rehearsals, when I'm working on different projects or at different jobs. And then I use this page, which for after every month, you get a repertoire overview, which I use this to keep track of what repertoire I need to practice. And I constantly go back to this page to reference. So I just list out everything that I have to practice. And so it has 3 categories in here. So it has your actual repertoire. It has the purpose that you have it for. So like, is it for your senior recital, or is it for like an orchestra concert coming up, or is it for a gig, you know? And then I have a due date of like, when does that music need to be polished or practiced by? And that just helps me kind of figure out, okay, what do I need to do? And then we have the week view, and you can, again, there's no dates, so you can write in what week it is of the month, and then you can also write in dates. So I always put like April 1st, 4/1, something like that. And then I normally go, for me, you can use it however you want, but for me, I personally kind of go by by day. Sometimes I do like a week planned out. Sometimes I do 2 or 3 days in advance. Kind of all depending on what my schedule's like. I make sure I write in what I practice so that I know later then what I need to hit. And I always reference then this to be like, okay, when is that due? When do I need it by? And then I always go back to here if I'm just always in doubt of like, when's my rehearsal that I need to have this music by? And then at the very end, there's a little note thing. One of the weeks I desperately put, this one piece needs attention. So, and then I put score study. That's a must-have for this week. This was actually this week. So sometimes I don't use all 5 of the rows, just because sometimes some days are busier than others, and I only have a certain amount of time and certain, amount of rep that I can go through in a day. But I tend to be a little more broad with what I practice in terms of like not specific measure numbers or anything like that. If I wanted to be more specific, maybe I can put that in my practice notes. And then at the very end of every single PDF file that you get, I have also included a recording take sheet. And depending on which one you get either 1 or 3 or 4. It all depends on what if you get like the 4-month or 6-month or 12 months, it varies. But I find this very helpful because I know this past year, applying for grad school, that I sometimes don't know which recordings I want to use. And usually I do a rating system so I can narrow down which takes I like. And I do the rating system by clarity, sound, musicality, and intonation. Usually are the big 4 main categories that I rate on. So I included a where you put down the take number, what the repertoire is, the clarity, the sound, the musicality, the intonation, and then at the very end, you can figure out which take you want to use. And I find this super helpful when you're doing video auditions, virtual auditions, anything of that sort is very helpful. And of course, we have the logo, which I designed myself. Go see it on hmdviolin.com, which is so cool to say. This is all very cool. But that is kind of the overview for the practice planner. And there's already May, which I already have a ton of stuff lined up already. And I cannot wait to see you guys using these. It'll be so surreal if, you screenshot it and send it to me. Again, all the links, all the descriptions, all the details are going to be in the description below. So please go check it out. They all range from $6.99 to $13.99 because I know as a musician we're all broke. So I wanted to make it affordable for you guys. I wanted you to have as many options as possible. And also, I would just love your feedback. I want to know what works. I want to know what doesn't. So that when I design or will be designing the next planner, I know what to do differently. So, with all that said, get to shopping.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that